Hey guys, welcome to Tyson's Fitness Tips Podcast. If you want to lose weight, increase your energy, improve your health and fitness, and look your best, then you have come to the right place. My name is Tyson Brown. I'm a personal trainer, and my job is to help you transform your body by sharing with you the most up-to-date information on health and fitness. I'm going to distill it all down for you into bite-sized actionable steps that you can take immediately to see results quickly. Now, every Tuesday and Thursday, you can expect a brand new episode, which will be a mixture of interviews with top experts from around the world in the fitness space, and as well as solo episodes from myself, sharing with you exactly what action steps you need to take to transform your health, your body, and your life. Also, don't forget to listen all the way to the end of the show, because in the middle, I'm going to share with you a time-saving tip, and it might just be a game changer. I know you're short on time, and this one can save you a lot of time and a lot of energy. So, let's get into the show. Hey guys, what's up? It seems like a lot of you did enjoy the podcast the other week about, a bit more rawness, a bit more fun with Lloyd and myself in the cave. So we thought we would record an episode 2 before I go to New York and talk all things about optimizing and biohacking and just experiments that we've tried in the past, what's working for us now, and why I love intermittent fasting. So another little different one this week. No interview, it's just me and Lloyd going back and forth on just what's working for us at the moment, what we've tried, and yeah. So hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks because I'm going to be in New York. But don't worry, these podcasts are still going to be coming out for you every single week. Have a good weekend. I guess we might as well tell them. Anyway, guys. So what we're doing, we're recording on a different camera today, and this camera only lets us record for half an hour at a time. So you're going to see me, you're going to hear the timer go off, and I'm going to kind of get up for a second. Lloyd's going to edit that bit out, and then it's going to be us sitting down again, because we want to make sure we capture the whole thing for you. So just keep that in mind when you're watching. All right, just give you a little heads up there. Anyway, so today we want to be. We kind of want to be talking a little bit about everything. Lloyd's like, what do you want to talk about? Let's do some research on it. I'm like, hey, we've only got until tomorrow because that was yesterday. And I was like, you know what? Let's just talk about shit we've tried, shit we've been looking at lately, and kind of share our experiences with things and kind of go from there.
Yeah, I think we want to cover just some things that we've genuinely tried, or maybe even we can talk about some things we want to try because the research sounds good. So we'll cover maybe a bit of keto, maybe a little bit of supplementation, maybe some different dieting techniques, so keto being one of them, whatever else, and maybe some little biohacks that we have found work for us personally. So not just, this is all about like what have we actually done and how did it work for us, not necessarily for everyone, but
some anecdotal stuff,
and some honest feedback on just our experiences. So we can go through a few. I got a few little tricks up my sleeve.
Me too. And by the way, I do look pretty bloated right here because I just came off my 24-hour fast, and in one meal I just ate 2,500 calories, 1,500 from a frozen smoothie because I'm a weirdo, and then 1,000 before I saw you.
Yeah, that's a lot of calories.
Pretty full.
And that's because you like to intermittent fast, right?
Yes.
So that might be the first thing we can talk a little bit about. You're doing it now. It's your current phase, I guess, of dieting.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say phase because I've been doing it for over 5 years.
Oh, you've been doing it for 5 years?
Intermittent fasting, yeah.
Wow.
I haven't really, for me, I started doing it, actually, no, I think it was, maybe 2013, because when I first ever moved to Sydney, my first boss, I stayed with him and his family, and I wouldn't have lunch with them I wouldn't have a morning tea thing with them because I was fasting, right? Mm-hmm. And so they used to be like, what are you doing? Why are you not eating type of thing? And so when I went to explain what was going on, I was doing that since about 2013. So it's been a long time since following that. And the reason that I had been following is because it allowed me to lose weight and keep it off because I find like I'm a switch, right? Like when I'm allowed to eat food, I don't have a limit as to how much I can eat. Oh. But when I skip time, like I'm not eating, if I'm just like, hey, I'm not eating at this time, then I'm not craving food, I'm not stressing out about anything, I don't have to worry about food. But it's like, as soon as I eat food, that's when like the kind of floodgates go off, right?
Okay.
And so one of the reasons that I started doing intermittent fasting is because I found when I restrict myself from food for a certain amount of time, it made dieting so much easier. And then once I lost the weight and like kept it off, I was like, why do I want to stop doing intermittent fasting? You know, like I've tried different things during the years since doing the intermittent fasting, but I've always gone back to it because it works so well.
For your your eating style, and I guess for your vices, like
for me, just because I was an overeater when I was younger. What do you got?
Well, we're gonna have PEA 500 Extreme, which is phenethylamine on its own, and phenethylamine is in most pre-workouts. It's DMPA, I believe they usually list it as. 500 milligrams is a pretty decent dose. So we're gonna take that and. Maybe people will see what happens.
I dry everything. What's that? Is that what you call it? Dry?
Dry? Oh, what?
You dry drop. I just dry drop it, like just because of eating so much
shelving?
Yeah. No, God no.
Yeah? No, you said yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. I dry drop.
Put up your whoop.
Yeah. Hit you faster.
No, well, I just,
You do it normally. Yeah. You're a normal human.
Yeah.
HTC, remember?
I like to wet drop. I just, we're pretty loud.
Oh really? That's the clicky thing.
Shit. Yeah. Okay. Let's just see how we go with that. Anyway,
mucking around with the
nothing but professionalism. Better? Yeah, that seems pretty good.
Cool. So that's one of the reasons I do intermittent fasting, just because, like I said, I was chubby. Like I wasn't fat as a kid,
right?
But I was just like. I was more overweight and I always ate till like the feeling of fullness, Yeah. And then so when trying to diet and stuff like that, because you follow small meals a day and things like that, I was never full and I just couldn't control my appetite. So this is like, it's just an appetite control thing, There's nothing crazy magical about intermittent fasting.
No.
It just works for some people.
Yeah.
Especially when there's people who are snackers too, people who eat at night, like a lot of nighttime eaters. When you set the rule to say I can't eat or drink alcohol or anything at night, it's so much easier for people to stick to because they have a rule in a place, right? Like how many times do you go to the fridge at night or anything like that and look for like a little snack sometimes?
Nah, maybe in like a bulking phase when I kind of amp myself, like if you're hitting yourself really hard at the gym and you're getting used to eating more, I start to train myself to get hungry, and I can get hungry at random times, and I sort of want to, feed that, especially if I ever run androgens or something a bit naughty. You get more hungry, or something like you can run dodgy things like Mass Max, which boosts your appetite. And you'll be looking in the fridge late at night and stuff. And but that's only when I've set that as a goal. I seem to be. It's funny you should talk about intermittent fasting. I think I've always been very able to do that. Almost maybe too much on the other end of things where I might not get enough calories in a day. So it's completely opposite to you, where I have a very quick off switch for getting full. And I know there's a lot of like hard gainers out there and stuff that are like that. They can't really get it in. So for them, eating more often helps them hit their calorie target. But then there comes a time in your life, like where I'm at now, I store a bit of fat on my gut. I don't have a good abdominal region anymore, like in terms of looks wise. So I'm sort of more looking to trim up and maybe cut back my calories now, but maintain muscle mass. So I've been experimenting with some basic fasting as well, some just morning fasting periods, and just trying to switch to running on fats for that little period. So it's not a true fast, but it's like a try to switch your body to look for. It's just an experiment I'm running right now. It's not something I can really report back on and say if it's working or if it's not for me. Because just not eating as much will also work, because you'll have, that's what cutting is, calorie deficit, so that you suck up all the fat off your body. Competitors even then eventually cut all fats out of their diet in the last few weeks before a competition, so that their body uses up every last ounce of fat on it, which isn't necessarily healthy for your body, but it is great for getting rid of that last bit of body fat under your skin. So there's all sorts of things you can do, but you need something that's sustainable that you can do for a long period of time throughout your life. So I can see why you've landed on that, because it's like when you start eating, you just don't want to stop.
It's like no fucking off switch.
Really? Wow.
And that's why, like, even sometimes I'll come here and eat with you guys. Like, I'll sit in the shop and eat, because otherwise if I go home, like, I've got access to the fridge, I've got access to the cupboard, and like there's no like cut off, like, so it's all about the environment, being able to shift myself out of the environment, so I'm not going to do that type of stuff too.
That's smart. So you just don't buy things you shouldn't buy as well.
It's one of the things. That's what I tell like so many people. If you're going to go out, like, if you're going to eat like shit, whatever you're going to do, go do it outside of the house. Don't bring it back home. Because otherwise, like, you got the temptation there. It doesn't matter whether you're not going to eat it today or tomorrow. There's going to be a point where you're going to eat it. You're going to come home, you're going to have a shitty day at work, you're going to be tired, whatever's going to happen. You might just get peckish, like I said.
And if it's there, you eat it. If it's not there, you won't bother. Because it's not like you're going to die if you don't eat. Like, I mean, look, that statement could be taken out of context. You theoretically will eventually die if you don't eat. But it's not as though...
Give it a couple of weeks, mate.
Yeah.
There's that guy who did the year. Did you hear about the guy who didn't eat for a year?
I've heard some incredible stories. I even have a friend that has done month-long fasts. People don't believe me when I tell them. Like, if anyone watches this, they may not believe.
Yep.
But he just had some sort of vegetable stock or chicken stock.
Yep.
I can't remember what it was. It wouldn't have been chicken stock because he's like vegan, but some sort of salt drink that you have.
Yep.
And that's about it. And obviously you hydrate in that instance. I've heard stories of, again, whether you believe it or not, I don't know. I don't know these people, but I've heard stories of a guy in India, a guru in India, that didn't eat or have any fluids for 15 days. And apparently he was observed by the Indian military. Now, I really tried to substantiate that article as best I could, and there seem to be semi-reputable sources reporting it, but at the end of the day, like, I wasn't there watching the experiment. I don't fucking know.
I don't know who would watch him for 15 days.
Yeah, like, they observed him in some sort of, I don't know, he didn't pass stool or urine either.
Fuck.
But he could be on a whole other spiritual level. Like, let's face it, there's paranormal things in this world that we don't fully understand. Could be in that category too. But what were you saying? That someone went for a year? Yeah,
some guy, like, he was extremely overweight, right? So he went for, like, obviously he had, like you said, you know, would have been like green supplements and just like things like that, but like not physically eating food.
Like substantial macros. Not happening.
Like not happening. So
for a year.
Apparently, I don't get how, like, because you need a certain like type of macronutrients to be able to do things. Like, you know,
certainly for like sports performance, like you need certain fuels.
Like he wouldn't obviously exercise. He was just an overweight guy, right?
Right.
And so it's just like, you're not going to die from not eating one night a week or something, right? Yeah. Like I do my 24-hour fast. I do it once a week, right? Usually it's Friday afternoon until today, Saturday afternoon, because Saturday is usually my day off of like heavy lifting and stuff like that. I'll do some light cardio, go for a walk and stuff like that, but just take a day off to, like, you know, it really helps my digestive system more than anything. Like, it gives my stomach time to, like...
Gives it a break.
It gives it a break.
Well, it makes sense to me that, you know, if you think about our evolution, there would have been periods where we wouldn't have food.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We'd either have to go hunt it, and that took time. I mean, I'm sure we stockpiled it and got on top of this stuff pretty quick, don't get me wrong, but in that hunter-gatherer phase... you might have gone a day without it. I mean, if you think about nomadic tribes, you're actually traveling to different destinations at different points in time. Your food may have run out. You might have been capable of running for a few days, maybe a week without food.
Oh, for sure.
But when we grew up, it was always kind of like, oh, you die in 3 days. Or I can't remember, you die in 3 days without water was like the rule of thumb.
Yeah.
And you die in a week or 2 weeks without food.
Yeah, I
that was like the
comp. Yeah.
And then when my friend Malik told me he had a month-long fast, and I believe this dude, like 100%. And again, people are going to think we're crazy. Other people are going to be like, yeah, I've heard about this stuff. I'm open to this stuff. But he did it. It was called a master cleanse.
Yeah, right.
I think it's something they may do in the Sikh faith. I mean, there's a lot of different meditation retreats and stuff that experiment with this sort of thing too. But yeah, master cleanse, he said, like, he felt the toxins getting pulled out of his bones towards the end of it. Like, and he didn't lose, he reckons he didn't lose that much muscle mass. I mean, he's a pretty lean guy to begin with, but crazy. I don't know. It just, all it says to me is there's things we are yet to fully understand.
Yeah.
We know some things, we've learned some things, but until you try it for yourself and see results for yourself, it's pretty hard to say hard and fast, this works, this doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, and we're still going to be discovering things. We all know that in another 5 to 10 years, there'll be new dieting trends.
Yeah,
like keto won't be the trend in 5-10 years. It'll be carbo, or it'll be something else. There'll be other where people think there's a shortcut or an oversimplification that they can use to achieve their results. When at the end of the day, if you ask me, it's always going to come down to a certain degree of the individual blueprints that we are. You know, like in your case, this is working for you, which is directly linked to your issue you have where you can just eat and eat and eat with a no off switch.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It makes a lot of sense for you to then cut out periods where you don't eat. Because when you don't eat for a period, you don't get that hungry, right? Like, it doesn't put you in that mode. You're just like, I'm in not eating mode. Your body gets over it and just goes, yeah, he's not eating.
Exactly. When I tell myself I'm not eating, it's not like, oh, you know, maybe I could have this little piece, or maybe I could have this. It's like, I don't eat, right?
Just don't even think about it.
Yeah, same as like when I finish, because I do my like intermittent fasting from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. After 5 p.m, it's just like, there's no like, oh, Tyson, you know, you should have this piece of cake. I'm like, maybe I'll have a little bit. It's like, no, I just don't eat past then. And it's just like, it's become a habit over time, obviously. It used to be like, I wouldn't eat past 8 o'clock. You know, I'd do the 8 until 12, 8 till 12, right? But looking at the research, you know, eating further away from bed helps you, like, you know, you're digesting food before you go to sleep. Slows down, so you slow down your heart rate at night, which is going to allow you to sleep earlier, allow you to sleep better and things like that. So doing studies about the further away you eat from bedtime, the better quality sleep you get, right?
Yep.
And for me, I've actually found that, like, so whenever I do my 24-hour fast once a week, because I monitor everything on the ring, it'll tell me that, so like last night, I had a deeper sleep than what I usually would, because I ate further away from bed. And so my body didn't have to work hard to digest food or anything like that. But same goes when I have like a really carb heavy meal, I get real sleepy, right? Even after talking to you like now, after having that big meal, I'm kind of sleepy.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I love it like that, because I'm like, I like having a lot of carbs at the end of the day, because I'm just like,
it's a bit of a biohack in itself.
but my heart rate goes up at night, right? Because it's got to digest that food. And so even though it's a deeper sleep, it might not be as restful, because my body is still working hard at digesting that food. So sometimes like I wake up and feel like I just had battle with like a lion. Like I wake up and I'm like, far out, I'm still kind of tired. But other days I'm like, ooh, I feel good.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, there's a lot of schools of thought on that. Like, some would think you carb load at night, you wake up with energy because that glycogen is now available to you. But it's not necessarily the case. And sometimes eating light at night is good, but if you're really sore from the gym, sometimes eating a bit heavier and then sleeping, you wake up feeling better. Otherwise you feel like you've been beat up. You know, it really depends on so many things. Say, like, how much hypertrophy is going on, how much, you know, muscle cell damage that you've been doing, you know, how much output versus the input. I mean, it always does come back to some degree, calories in, calories out, right? Like the leftovers end up on your stomach, like under your stomach fat. And muscle mass is a factor too, so that's a whole other conversation. The more muscle mass, the more you're going to need to maintain that on a basic day-to-day. But at the end of the day, if you want to get rid of all your body fat, I mean, you're going to have to eat less to some degree.
And
or work a lot fucking harder, so that you need those calories to build the muscle that has been damaged. So a combination of that is obviously what we're all doing in some way, shape or form. But by the way, I just looked up, there's like a heap of articles, none of them super reliable, but like it's hard these days. What is it, like the Sydney Herald? Is that like reliable? I don't even know. This is 9.com.au, but an orange looking 9. Has 9 changed their logo or something? The mystery behind the 207 kilogram Scotsman who fasted for over a year. By Stuart Marsh. April 6th, 2016. So, I mean, there's a heap of articles. If people hear that crazy story and want to see if they think it's legit, jump on.
I knew it was, because like, they said he was like 300 pounds Scottish guy, which is like 200 kilos, right?
Yeah, well, this 450 pound man fasts for over a year, and then it goes Dr. Carl's greatest moments. Okay, different thing. Now, there's another one where he's 456 pounds, so on and so forth. So
but he's fucking heavy.
Yeah, either way, he's overweight. It's pretty safe to say. 200
kilos, that's a lot.
Total starvation, 382 days without food, study, personal blog. Goes on and on. Okay, cool.
200 kilos.
Yeah.
That's a fucking big boy.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight. So I was going to ask you something. Okay, so the no-off switch thing.
Calories in, calories out, like you said.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to make. You go for it.
No, I was going to say, look, any downsides that you find to intermittent fasting? Anything that you think is like, well, look, it's good for this, but it's not great for that?
People who have eating disorders shouldn't be doing it, because it just develops a more unhealthy relationship with food, right? Like if you're in the opposite case of me, if you're like bulimic, anorexia or something, right? And you're like, you can kind of cover that up. You know, I'm going to do intermittent fasting. And people, think, all right, I'm going to do intermittent fasting. And they have like one meal and it's like 600 calories.
Right.
And like, you can't do that. You can't restrict yourself to such little amount of food, regardless of whether you get an intermittent fasting or whatever. Like, the reason you do intermittent fasting is because you eat too much and you need to restrict that window, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean you going from eating, let's say, 2,800 calories a day to 600 calories a day, because people go on this crazy, they think, I've got to do intermittent fasting and I've got to cut all the, like, you know, I can only eat salad and chicken or something.
Mm-hmm.
That happens all the time. I don't know why, like, people think they...
What happens to their physique when they do that?
Physique? Well, they'll lose muscle mass and fat because they're not eating enough protein, first of all.
Yeah.
To obviously keep the muscle mass. They're not eating enough, like, healthy fats either. Like, because, you know, they'll try and keep it, you know, clean eating, right? Chicken breasts, salad, things with like micronutrients, but not a good amount of macronutrients.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is it's not their physique per se, like they will lose weight, they'll actually probably look more drawn out than anything. They're going to have the spare tire look because they're losing muscle mass and fat mass, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the people who do cardio to lose weight, but they don't do the weight training, okay?
Yeah.
Because there's losing weight, there's weight loss, and there's fat loss, remember? And people who just run to lose weight or just eat less to lose weight without lifting weights, like the body goes, why do I need this? You know, why do I need this muscle mass? Muscle mass is expensive for the body to keep.
So it's the first thing it'll shred off.
Not the first thing, but it'll be in a, like, that will also be
it'll
used
dip into
as a
that
fuel straight. Yeah.
It'll dip into that pie. Okay, so it'll just go, yep, we'll use fat, yep, we'll use proteins, which are the muscles. We'll use whatever we need to keep him doing this cardio, and just get either that just sort of slim down look with no shape.
Yeah.
Or you'll end up
you look okay
storing
in a
more
shirt,
fat.
but you look like, you know, you take your shirt and something like, it's that flabby look that you've got, like.
Okay, so you need the muscle mass, and then if you're still carrying some body fat, you might need a little bit of cardio to burn that off. But
cardio is still fine, but you need it with weight training too.
Yeah.
And you can't cut yourself down too low. Like, you can't say, I'm going to just eat salad or anything like that, because you still need protein too.
You need some quality macros to build that muscle, to get that shape.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for a nice shape. Let's face it. A lot of people doing cardio and that really want to lose body fat, they're sort of secretly hoping that when they cut all the body fat off, there's this nice lean six-pack hiding underneath.
Yeah.
And the sad truth is, unless you've been training your muscles to kind of build some size to them, you won't see those cool shapes, those nice kind of tapers.
Yeah, exactly. So I like to give the analogy.
Just look skinny.
Yeah, well, okay, think of that, like, literally think of a crack addict, right? You've seen people walking down King Street with their shirt off.
Never?
No,
I have definitely seen it, yeah.
Like, have you seen those real skinny guys?
Yeah.
You can see their abs. But
I think meth addicts.
Meth, yes.
In Australia, we're more into the meth addicts. We don't have as much crack addicts.
Yeah, true. Yeah, okay.
Too expensive.
Is it?
$300 a gram.
Whew.
Well, I don't even know what crack is, to be honest.
Yeah,
is it a different type?
I don't know.
I think you smoke
Crystal meth?
Yeah, crystal meth is...
Is that crack?
No, I don't think that's crack. I think crack is a smokable version of cocaine.
Clearly, I'm uneducated on this topic. Anyways,
which is good.
You look at meth. Yeah, you look at meth addicts.
Good stand-up
like
young
that.
man.
But, like, you know, you can see their six-pack, but it's like they look like a skeleton.
Yeah.
You know, you see their ribs poking out.
You
see, and like that's what will happen to people
if you just cardio, undereat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like that's like some of my clients. I give them. I'm like, all right, you're eating 2,300 calories a day. Are you sure that sounds like a lot? I'm like, yeah. Like you know, you've got to have trust me. Like I don't know why people think they need to eat such less amount of food to get results. Type of thing. Like people are like, oh, I thought I should be eating like 1,800 calories, and then girls like, I got to eat 1,200 calories. I'm like, why do you want to eat less? Like, what? Where are you going to go from 1,200 calories? You burn more than 1,200 calories a day just laying in bed every day, right? And so,
is that a fact, or you just?
No, it's a fact.
Oh,
like
really?
Literally, you would burn more than 1,200 calories a day laying in bed.
Really?
Yes, for sure.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, so maintenance for you, just living every day in general, body weight in your kilograms times 30 is like a good formula.
Okay, so I'm
2,100 calories. How much do you weigh?
About 78 kilos.
So 80, right? So let's say 8 times 3, so you're 2,400 calories a day on maintenance, okay?
Okay.
So if you eat less than that, you'd have to eat like at least 10-20% less to start losing fat, right? So for you, I would tell you that you'd want to be eating 2,100 calories a day. Okay, 21, 22. Yeah, exactly. Okay,
cool.
That would be
if I just want to cut back for a bit, which is not always a bad thing. Hey, just to get back to a baseline and start to see a toned stomach and go, okay, that's where I'm at.
Yep.
Now I'm going to hit the gym hard and add some more calories to get some more muscle mass. Like, you can kind of just go easy and dial it in if you don't want to always walk around with a gut like I currently am.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
And
so 2,100.
It's like a general rule, okay?
Yeah.
But if you're constantly under eating all the time, then your metabolism will slow down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like for me,
so it'll hang on to good old spare tire.
Yeah, well, not that. So if I'm telling you need to eat 2,100 calories, right? But you've constantly been eating 1,800 calories and you can't lose weight. Well, it's because your metabolism has slowed down because it's used to what you're eating now. Okay?
Yep.
So you can actually increase your metabolism over time to eat more and more. I'm 70 kilos and I'm eating 3,000 calories a day.
Right.
And I'm not gaining weight.
Okay.
Right? Like, depend. If I'm supposed to be eating 3,000. I probably eat about 3,300. So I do actually bump up weight very, very slowly, right?
Yeah. And you're training for mass, right? Like,
yeah, I'm trying to gain muscle at the moment, okay?
Yeah.
But 30, let's say 3,000, like 3,000 to 3,300 calories a day, for someone who's 70 kilos, that's over 900 calories of what my maintenance is, which is supposed to be 2,100 calories, right? And so it's because I have been slowly increasing the amount I eat, not by week, but a couple of 50 extra calories every, let's say 3 to 4 weeks, right?
Yep.
And eventually, when you do that for long enough, your metabolism can speed up. Like, you've probably met people who can eat ridiculous amounts of food and not put on weight.
Yeah, okay. So their metabolic rate's obviously running at a much higher rate.
And that's like, I've trained clients who are extremely overweight and they can't seem to shift the weight and they're eating 1,800 calories. And I'm like, so like, there's this guy who messaged me, he goes, hey, I'm not sure how many calories I'm eating. I think he was eating 1,600 calories, right? He was 150 kilos. His basal metabolic rate, so his BMR, like on average, was 3,000. Like, was just my bulking. So his was 3,500 calories, right? So he's severely depriving himself.
Right.
And you can't go much lower than when you 1,600, 1,500, 1,400, depending on the guy or the girl.
It just randomly decided to add claps. Had it stopped?
Yep. No.
But it was about to.
Yep. Going again. And so 23. Like, when people eat too low, you can't go anywhere else. Like, just to get basic macronutrients, micronutrients in, right? Like, under 1,200 calories, where are you supposed to go? If you're supposed to get 2 grams, let's say 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So for me, let's say I was eating 1,200 calories a day, and I needed 140 grams of protein. Okay, so 140 times 4 is 400, and then 4 times 4, 560 calories. So that's nearly, that's nearly half, like over half, just from protein alone. So then I've got another 640 calories. And that's very hard to distribute through to get enough fat for hormone function and to get enough carbohydrates too, right? So it's just like, where do you go? And that's why I always say to people, like, you want to avoid cutting as much food as you can.
And so when someone is overweight and they're eating less but not losing weight, what do you think's happening there? Like, so their body's just hanging on to the weight for a rainy day and just eating into it very slowly because it thinks this person's in some sort of starvation mode?
Well, see, it's hard because
this is where I feel like the science never really hit a home run, because that all makes sense, but then you get someone like that's overweight and eating hardly anything. They should be, I mean, I'm sure over time you'll eventually lose weight, but you won't look great at the end of it. Yeah,
there'll be that, but there's also, if your body's supposed to be burning 3,000 calories a day, let's say, right, and you're eating 1,200 calories a day, you're putting your body in a big stress, okay? And so when stress, like when you have increased stress, increased cortisol, it can stop you from losing fat.
Yeah.
And you can actually, it's not proven, but like you have to increase the metabolism again, right? So it's like making them eat more food than what they're used to, so the body can kind of get in that kickstart and get out of that stress mode, because under eating is a stressor.
Okay, so here's a hypothetical for you. So cortisol goes high, their metabolic rate drops really low, so they hang on to the weight for longer, right? This makes sense to me from an evolutionary perspective, because it's decided, Jesus, we're in a famine, he's only getting 1,600 calories a day. Let's boost cortisol, slow down this metabolism so the fat on his body and the amount of calories he's getting is going to go a long, long way. And so what that means is he's going to be overweight for a long time before the process of starvation kicks in.
Yes.
And he actually does end up a skeleton. I mean, if you look at people in prisoner of war camps from those old World War II photos, they're lean.
Yeah.
They're lean, but they don't really have abs.
No, yeah, exactly.
They're lean in every way. I mean, that's obviously at a much more like significant point of starvation.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, but if we were to just test a human body and find out what happens when you starve them, and not in a setting where they're on some sort of cleanse, I mean, that's a different mindset and everything goes into that, where they're just literally purposefully not being given enough to eat.
They've done studies on this.
Yeah, right.
There are studies where like they've been put in metabolic chambers, okay? So this is pretty much, there's like a controlled chamber. It'd be about as big as this room, right? Mm-hmm. It's got a toilet in it. It's got a bed in it. You live in it. And like that's literally all it is. So it measures how much calories you're expending when you're breathing, things like that. It all comes like it's all regulated, right?
Who'd sign up for this? This sounds fucked.
Every single person.
They probably tested something like this in wartime, hey, on like prisoners or something, because it doesn't sound like something anyone would put their hand up for.
Well, you can go do them you can go on metabolic chambers.
Oh, okay, so they do it for a day or two.
Yeah, it gives you an idea about how many calories you're actually
spending. Snapshot. Yeah, okay.
But these people, everyone who got like, so people who want to
I'm picturing them there for weeks, just like chained to a fucking solitary confinement.
Yeah. Experimental only.
Yeah, you signed up for this. Right. Okay. Sorry.
You'll get your $5 at the end of the next couple of weeks. All right, just settle.
Get your milkshake.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do it for a shake.
Yeah. Well, you'll do anything for free food.
Yeah.
HTC.
HTC.
Yeah.
That's human garbage can.
Yeah. HTC.
And so HTC. Yeah.
HTC.
And so like they wanted to see if you are put in a like metabolic chamber and we fed you less calories than you burn, would you lose weight? Every single person in that study who said they couldn't lose weight, even though they ate healthy, lost weight. So another thing that comes up is people who say, I'm eating X amount of food. Oh. There's a couple of things for error, right? One, we're just bad at tracking food. We don't know like how much portion sizes and things are if we have no idea what it is. Mm-hmm. You know, like a portion size to you and a portion size to me. I mean, you see the amount of food I eat, you're like, that is a lot. And I'm like, that's not that much. You know, and so we have different perspectives. Mm-hmm. So you could be severely overeating something and think it's a normal size.
Right.
Then there's also the binge eating that goes along with it. I mean, if you restrict yourself, like, have you dieted before strict?
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah.
You get hungry, right?
Yeah.
And like, even if you don't diet strict, like I've gone through a whole fucking tub of ice cream in one night, or like eaten a whole cake before, right?
Yeah.
Back when I was, trying to do the 6 meals a day type of thing,
right?
I did this binge and purge thing, right? I wouldn't actually throw up, like binge, go like eat a whole cake out of a fridge, eat a whole liter of ice cream, do all those things, but I'm like, oh no, but I eat healthy most of the time, why can't I lose that weight? It's because that 1 liter of ice cream is like what, 2,000, like that's 3,000 calories right there. It's right?
A whole budget, and it's been blown on sugars
in one night. And like you might have done that on a Monday, and then on a Sunday you're like, why am I not losing weight? So
you were so over budget one day in the week, that and then of course that gets stored as fat. Because I mean, the more you drop a huge bomb of food in a short space of time, the less your body can do with that, right?
To a degree, especially, but like, okay,
well,
so if it's been deprived so long, then you overfeed it wants to keep that, right?
Yeah.
Then the body's not going to let go of it. Same thing happens, goes for a week, same thing happens again.
Gotcha.
But that's so many people, like, just think about how many people who are trying to lose weight. They'll be good Monday to Friday. They might have a cheat meal, which turns into a cheat day, which turns into a cheat weekend. You might have been eating 1,500 calories from Monday to Friday, okay? But then all of a sudden you've eaten 3,000 calories, 3,500 calories, 4,000 calories over 3 days because of alcohol, because of going out with your friends and eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, all those things. Man, it adds up over time. Mm-hmm. And we're bad at like measuring. Like, go out to dinner somewhere, you might think, oh yeah, it's 400 or 500 calories. oils that it's been cooked in, the appetizers, all those things, they all add up. Alcohol, all that stuff.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really where the budget lands at the end of the month, more so than at the end of the week.
End of the week, more like the month type of thing. I mean, you look at things in time spans of like, weeks and months as opposed to days, because no one ever got. Like the same thing. Okay, let's go back to like the overeating point. Did you overeat at Easter? I mean, Easter. Oh, you did? Yeah. What about Christmas?
Yeah.
You don't get fat from one day of overeating. Okay.
No.
It's that constant overeating that does the damage.
So if weekly overeating is more dangerous than one-off. Yeah,
exactly.
Events.
Like that's
but
like
weekly. So like the cheat meal can be enough. The cheat day can be enough to kind of prevent you from reaching your fitness goals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. And like.
Okay.
So like a cheat meal, when people say, "Oh, can I have a cheat?" The reason we follow like cheat meals and cheat days, it's because of bodybuilders who had that, right? And that's because they were actually really like, they're bodybuilders. They were doing it for a competition and things like that. So they'd be severely strict on themselves, cut down all the fats, severely cut. Like they would severely cut food, not like what people think dieting is now, where I'm gonna take away some bad food and then have a cheat meal. And like the bodybuilders wouldn't do it once a week. They'd do it once every couple of weeks. Like Arnold talks about how I think it was like every 2 weeks he can go and eat a whole bunch of pies and stuff with his friends after a workout or something like that.
That's about it.
Yeah, and so like, people, we have adopted that. And we just think, I'm going to have a cheat meal or a cheat day. And you don't really need it. And that's why I tell my clients, follow the 80-20 approach. 80% whole food. That's like the big thing. Like intermittent fasting works for me. Doesn't work for all of my clients. Some of them like it, some of them don't. But the big approach is follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of your food should be whole, nutritious, unprocessed food. 20% of your food, go and enjoy yourself. But that doesn't mean eating a whole pizza, right? Eat half a pizza, okay? Like instead of having a full 1.2 litre Coke, have a 600 ml Coke. Because that 80-20 rule gets thrown out the window. Like it'll swap over real quick when you have a whole pizza with a 1.25 litre Coke and a garlic bread.
That trumps whatever whatever you ate earlier in the
you
day.
look at portions of like a kilo of broccoli, how many calories that is, to a kilo of, let's say, if someone could actually eat it, a kilo of broccoli versus a litre of ice cream. You look at the macronutrients and the calorie differences, it's mind-blowing. You look
per
at
spoon, per spoon scoop, it's just so much more loaded.
Yeah, that's like oil.
And it's funny because the broccoli is so much more filling than the ice cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream turns on a switch that makes you just crave more and more and more.
Yep.
And those type of foods are designed to be stockpiled by the body. That's why, of course, they occurred much more rarely in nature.
Yep.
You get a honey. We're talking about honey.
You only find an ice cream tree once every couple of.
Very rare. Once every 40,000 years of evolution.
Cinnamon swirl.
Yeah. So okay. All right. Gotcha. So that's your current experiences that you've had, and some other information we've woven in there too. What's something I want to talk about? I'll talk about what I find with some intermittent fasting at the moment, where I add a little bit of fats in, and the jury's still out. I'm just experimenting with it, but I have like a bullet. I also want to talk about cutting caffeine. We'll come up to that in a sec. But real quick, so I have a morning fast at the moment, and I'm waking up pretty hungry. To be honest, I'm pretty sure I might be under eating my calories during the eating window. So
do you still wake up hungry?
Occasionally. I think it's more of my body if I've worked out or something like that and I haven't eaten enough calories to kind of replenish the soreness.
It could be that, but it's also what type of carbohydrates you have at night, right? Because sometimes I find...
Yeah, if you have carbs at night, you wake up hungry.
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
But it only depends on a certain type of carbs.
No, it's true. I had something that had a burger bun last night and I woke up hungry. So that was already enough.
I've got a feeling it's the high GI carbs that metabolize so quickly.
Yeah.
You're like, wake up.
Yeah.
I'm starving.
You get hungry again. And I mean, look, if you're bulking, high GI carbs probably the best way to keep your hunger going. But if you're actually trying to get lean mass and keep that extra stomach fat off, you got to dodge them. Even whole meal pasta is way better, I find. I don't get that same hunger later. Satiating, slow drip feed. Anyway, wake up in the morning, have a bulletproof hot chocolate, not a coffee, because I'm cutting caffeine, and we'll get into cortisol in a second because I really want to talk about that. I find it definitely gets rid of the hunger, the fats. The second thing I find is once you're not eating large amounts of food and you're just running on a little bit of fat. And I'm talking a little bit, like if you had a shit ton of fat, I don't know if that'd be great. You might run to the toilet because it sometimes can cause that kind of diarrhea effect, right? Yep. MCT oils and stuff if you overdose, because there's a lot of energy in a very small pile.
Yeah.
And there might be some other things going on which we'll have to research into. You might know. Anyway, that said, I find I get a really nice, clear, clean thinking. It's not. Look, if I had a coffee with it, a bulletproof coffee, probably be even better because of the effects of coffee. But I can motor along once the hunger goes and just get things done without that interruption of needing to eat and whatnot. But I still have some sort of energy for thinking. Whereas sometimes if you get too hungry, it can actually really interrupt your thinking.
Yeah.
So I find that really good. Maybe for people that are first experimenting with fasting, or maybe not, I don't know. But even just for people that want a little bit of a twist, maybe they don't have breakfast and they want a bit of a spin on their morning coffee, probably makes it a bit better on your stomach lining too in terms of acidity, with a bit of fats in there to help break it down. But I've been really enjoying that. But one thing I'm really enjoying is cutting caffeine again, because man, my adrenals, or whatever it is that comes into play when you overdo stimulants like caffeine, pre-workouts, you name it, mine are fried. I just need it. It's and it could even just be cortisol levels getting high from stress, and that's probably where I would want to look into. That might be a factor for me into holding on to that last bit of weight. It could be high cortisol. But so that's a good biohack, cutting caffeine. Sometimes if you feel like you're not getting rid of that last little bit of weight, it could be a cortisol issue, which could be either undereating, like you said, going into kind of high stress mode just from not enough food. Or B, maybe you're smashing the coffee. Maybe the stims are just too high and your body's in fight or flight mode too often. And so cortisol gets high, What are your thoughts on that? Or what are your experiences on cutting caffeine? Because you're the one that introduced me to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, when did I start doing it? Why did I start doing it?
Because you take a week off.
Yeah, I do a week
per
off.
Month?
Yeah, so I do 3 on, 1 off. And I always try and time it around my... when I got my new program, right? So it'd usually be a 4-week workout program.
Right.
So the very first week, because the first week of your program is introductory, right? You don't push it real heavy, you just get familiarized with the weights and the workouts and stuff like that. So that's kind of I don't need caffeine to go hard for that first week. And so it's easier for me to actually avoid caffeine for that week, because it's I'm not expecting to kill myself in the gym. And yeah, basically I'm just you know what? I know I need to get a reset on my adenosine receptors. I've been drinking too much coffee. It just goes to show that I don't to prove to myself kind of I don't need a dependency on it. And plus I love when I cut coffee and then I get back into it, the focus it gives me and the energy it gives me, because you've cut it out for a while, right?
Yeah.
I actually can't remember though why I got into it, why I started cycling it. But coffee cycling has been one of the best things I've done. Just in order to, I kind of to think about it as a reset, right?
Reset your receptors. Oh,
yeah.
For sure. You
it technically does do that.
Yeah, your body just works around it in the end anyway. You need more and more and more. Body always wants to get into homeostasis. And there's a reason for that. I mean, it wants to get into homeostasis because it's not good for you to be running in overdrive all the time.
Yeah. And
there must be a reason for that. It's probably because stress hormones get elevated. So, you're only supposed to run from the saber-toothed tiger for, 10Ks or whatever they can chase you for.
Fuck, I don't think it'd be 10Ks.
Yeah, probably not. I'd be dead.
Yeah, you'd definitely be fucking dead.
Well, modern man would be dead, that's for sure.
No, but
maybe back then we had a bit more.
And we were only
spring.
exposed to stress. You wouldn't see a saber-toothed tiger every single day. You might see it once every couple of weeks or a month, so you're not under constant stress.
You'd be like, oh, saber-toothed tiger, I haven't seen you in years.
Yeah.
Now I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. That was 3 sundials ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. And you.
What era are we in? 'Cause I don't think they had sundials.
You don't reckon?
Nah, they probably did.
They have something.
I think there's been civilizations that reached pinnacles of technology many times before we got to this current. I mean, I'm pretty open to believing some pretty wacky shit.
Man, that's the only those fucking dinosaurs. There was legit dinosaurs on this planet. That just blows my mind.
Isn't that insane?
That's just ridiculous.
And do we ever stop and think about that? We're so caught up in oh yeah, you got to go I don't know, pay the RTA fucking like these random fucking things we've invented on top of bureaucracy on top of bureaucracy. But if you think back to giant fucking monstrous things. Yeah. Like, where did the concept of a monster even come from? You know how it's in our imagination.
Yeah.
Is it because we all evolved from some amoeba at some point, and we all have this in our DNA built in that we remember that time?
Maybe.
Like, did we have lives as like the little chicken dinosaur thing running from these massive school bus
fucking
size?
Dinosaurs, yeah.
And like we've got like, have you seen this? Have you seen the goddamn the best preserved dinosaur they've found so far?
I think so.
It's like from a bog somewhere.
Yes.
And it's that one that has like the armor plating. Like it's one of the goodies. I remember as a kid, like I'd find like
the herbivore ones.
They were the good guys.
Yeah.
The herbivores. They're just chilling.
What was that TV show that had like?
Oh yeah, some
dinosaurs?
Dino Raiders or something like. And it was like, and Tyrannosaurus dude was always evil.
No.
I'll get you.
The what?
Yeah,
I'm talking about the cartoon one.
Yeah, it was a cartoon. Dino something. Dino Raiders? Dino...
Power Rangers?
No, not Power Rangers.
They were all dinosaurs, weren't they?
Ah, but it was like a robot dinosaur. There was no actual fucking...
No, but like they all represented dinosaurs. Like Triceratops, Saber-toothed tiger, Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, in a real, like, lame way.
There was another one. It's called like something land. Like... And they were like cartoon dinosaurs. Like they were just
The Land Before Time?
Yes!
Oh, yeah, dude, that's for like...
Yeah,
when you were 12,
when you were fucking 12, right?
Yeah.
But like...
Yeah, I mean, I
But I know what you're talking about, the armor plate one. Remember that one? The one with the like little
yeah, with the
tail?
bomby knocker on his tail. It's like fucking whack.
Bomby knocker.
I'm pretty sure... Yeah, right?
That's the name.
Is it bomby knocker?
It is bomby knocker.
It's like a ball and chain, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you type in the best preserved dinosaur...
Bomby knocker. Why would it be called a bomby knocker?
Yeah, it's obviously just like...
That's great. That is
that's
so
just a
funny.
bit of cockney. Get me bomby knocker.
They used to be my favourite, like, weapon, you know, to, like, look at things. But, yeah, bomby knocker.
Oh, yeah. It seems like a little dangerous. Like, there's a bit of backlash to that. But not for this bad boy. I mean, obviously, if anyone's watching this, they can just look up. I just typed in the best preserved dinosaur, and there it is.
Oh.
It's,
I don't have to see the photo.
Yeah, dude, check it out.
No shit.
That's it. Right?
What?
Right?
No.
Look at the size of the
giant
spines.
That is fucking huge.
Like, look on the side. These huge kind of horn-like things that I don't really... I remember they sort of worked out that had this plating.
This just reminds me of like a crocodile.
Yeah, you can see it's like a exaggerated crocodile. Yeah. Like highly exaggerated, you know, those little knobs and things that are on a crocodile, like these giant
like what
spines
in the fuck. Like if I saw that, if I ever saw something like that walking down the street, oh man, like.
Well, you know what's interesting? People on ayahuasca have had visions of like dinosaurs, and I tried to look up experiences where they look. There's just a little kid in me that was into dinosaurs or something. I don't know. But I tried to look up for experiences where people had seen them and what did they look like, and is there any kind of, does it give a bit more away about the mystery? And it's hard to find, but I mean I know people that have been shown prehistoric times, and I think it was someone that does some really good trip reports about ayahuasca, Aubrey Marcus.
I knew you were going to say Aubrey Marcus.
That's what got me into him in the first place, randomly. Right. Like, the dude's into so many things, but because I was looking around to find out a bit more about it before I eventually went and did it, and he talked about actually kind of becoming a triceratops, like kind of like not physically there in the room, but like he was like in the mindset of one, like I don't know if he was being back in time or if it was just there's no space and time in that state, but yeah, he was there, and I think he said the amazing thing is that he still felt the same emotions that really at the heart of what we're about today, like caring about the family.
Oh,
kids.
Are you going to say you felt about the emotions about like what a triceratops? I'm like, because he knows what a triceratops is.
No, I guess
you'd be thinking like, fucking, I want to eat that other dinosaur.
Well, he's saying theoretically that the medicine was showing him what it was like to be one. I don't know. It sounds incredible. But anyway, that's a dinosaur segue.
Yep, from caffeine.
Yeah, from caffeine, but cortisol.
Yeah, cycling. Giving yourself time to just.
I think it's a big thing. I think it's a big problem.
There are 4 big areas I just want to say this: the people probably can't lose weight, right?
Yeah, 4 big factors.
Yeah,
right.
big factors. One is the diet. Okay.
Yep.
Overeating, severely undereating, binge eating, not even knowing what you're eating, all that shit.
Yeah.
2 is sleep. Like, sleep is so fucking important.
Yeah.
Right? And there's like a study done, I heard recently, like, people who, they ate the same type of diet, same type of calories, stuff like that. People who were deprived of sleep were 50% more likely to not lose weight, right? Because it goes back to stress again, right?
Yeah.
So there's sleep, stress. Obviously, there's the stress part. You know, people just fucking unconscious stress all the time. I mean, like, I'm under stress all the time, right? Like, so are you, because we're always trying to run a business. Like, we're putting negative stress on our body.
Yeah.
People who are at work, you know, I've got a lawyer client who works like fucking like he'll work like maybe he'll go there on a Thursday and come home on like a Friday night or something. Just ridiculous.
Wow. And and that's the thing. We're not even doing jobs that we hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
but
it's stressful because the responsibility is completely on you, and that's. Yep. I think that's where the growth is at the end of this. You know, when we sort of get to a point where. When I get to a point anyway where I feel safe that this business is always going to work, and it's just how much I put into it as to how much I get out of it, but it's going to always net an income that pay the goddamn rent.
Yep.
But to be earning a great wage but at a job you hate, so it's like you don't have the stress of like the hunter-gatherer mindset of like I have to hunt my own sales, my own people must come, I need to serve them. You're in a job that you just have to do for the paycheck. I feel like the stress from that is so much more mind-numbingly painful for me. That's why I ended up doing this. But yeah, so the cortisol can just go.
Yeah, like all these things are.
Yeah, and you got to play the game in those jobs too. You know, you got to make sure you're in with the right boss. And maintain that energy, connect with them, and change who you are.
3. And 4 is exercise, right? People, whether it's over-exercising, like fucking killing themselves with cardio, like I said. Like, so many people want to go, I want to be able to train weights and then I'll go do cardio straight after, or I'll go and do cardio in the morning and weight training. And these people said they got no time for exercise, but somehow they're finding 2 hours a day or whatever it is to try. I'm like, hey, how about you exercise a little bit less? Like, how about you do weights one day, cardio the next day? Oh, but I want to be able to, you know, like, I want to lose fat. I'm like, yeah, well, smashing yourself in again and again and again, trying to do all high intensity workouts, trying to turn weights into cardio, you know?
Yeah.
I got to get up that sweat. I got to do it hard. Like, people just burn themselves out at the end of the day. It always comes down to people, like us, just inflicting self-burnout on ourselves. Yeah. I've done it. I still do it.
See, and this is why I love supplementation, because there's some things that I can absolutely fix for people in this store. There's some things I can't. You can only assist or add like a small percentage of increase, and that's supplementation at its core, right? Food is the ultimate supplement. A lot of supplements are derivatives of food, technically, just in, you know, expanded higher dose. So you get the advantage, you get the biohack from it, right? Like creatine or whatever. It's already in food, but it becomes a biohack when you can exceed the amount you could get in nature, right? Sleep, man, I would be lost. I mean, the cortisol issue is one thing, which supplements are causing for me, right? And we'll just pause right there and restart our dodgy camera.
Yep, so sleep, as you were saying.
Yeah, so, you know, cortisol's one thing, right? Some supplements boost, like pre-workout. But sleep can then be affected. It can even be affected if you have a coffee too late or if you've got too much stress on.
Yep.
I've got sleep supplements that will put you out and you have a deep, restful sleep. Like every time, you know, especially the powdered ones, which are slightly less convenient if you're traveling or whatever. Like, I don't know if you see that, rested as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And there's another one, and then I've got another one I can get from Blackstone. But any of those powder ones, it's like 1 scoop or 2 scoop if you've really screwed yourself over with something. Like, who knows, right? Even illicit drugs, maybe. You know, need to put yourself out. You will get sleep. And if you just add a little, if you want to be more sensible, I've got sensible sleep formulas with a bit of valerian, a little bit of an extract of mucuna purines, not too much. You will sleep.
Yeah, right.
And you will get more restful sleep every time. It's like, sure, you shouldn't rely on it, and it's not the kind of thing you would. Like, trust me, when you feel tired at night, you just go to bed.
Yeah.
When you're genuinely tired and you're about to get sleep, you don't reach for a pill in the cupboard. You're just like, no, man, I'm just you know. But those nights where you're frustrated and you're sitting there tossing and turning, it's like, people don't have to.
Yeah.
We actually have herbal technology for this, but people put up with it. You know, when I was a little kid, I just put up with insomnia. Like, Mum didn't go, and this is no dig at Mum. You know, there was like warm cup of milk and a banana. There was like weird things like that people would do. But it's like, if you're in the tribe, in the jungle, like in a well-established, like a tribe that knows its herbs and stuff, it'd be like a little bit of Acuna purines and you sleep like a baby.
Yeah, right.
There's a pharmacopoeia that we're always supposed to have access to for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this sort of thing. But yeah, sleep, yeah, man, I got that covered. And I love knowing that, because one of my pet hates in the entire world is not being able to sleep.
I've never had that problem.
Yeah, you've always been able to sleep? That's great, man.
Like you know, there might be some nights where maybe it takes me 20 minutes to get to sleep.
Yeah,
right?
But you don't get stuck in that thing. Like, have you heard about it where people are like, it's like you get so angry because you can't get to sleep.
Yeah.
That you're like, God damn it.
Yep.
And you just lie awake.
Yep.
And you know you got to start work at 6 a.m. You're like, fucking start work at 6 a.m. Like, sleep. And of course, that frustration keeps you awake even longer.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the worst thing in the world, man. That's why a scoop of something when that's going down and put you out. Oh. Thank you, supplement gods, for that one thing.
See, the only thing I find, because I'm a light sleeper, right, so I can wake up pretty quickly, I guess you'd say.
So you wake up to your own farts?
No. Tell you what though, sometimes, not wake up to
the
my own
smell
farts, but I like wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm surprised I'm still alive right now.
It's all those massive shakes you make and then freeze and then eat.
But see, I haven't dropped one yet, have I?
No.
It's only a couple things that I find trigger it.
Oh, yeah?
One is definitely chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Not roast chicken, though. Actual, like, not chicken breast, roast chicken.
Yeah?
With the skin and stuff like that. I just got a feeling it's because of, like, all the sulfurous stuff in there, right?
Okay.
Same as eggs. Cauliflower.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Yeah, and cauliflower is a common one.
Yeah.
Eggs are definitely some...
Oh, yeah, eggs are...
I reckon... I don't know if you'll agree, but... I think some food types, I think they can even test your DNA for this or whatever, but some foods just don't agree with some metabolic makeups.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not a, you know, maybe it's, who knows if it's your ancestors or whatever, because we're all a mishmash now. But you're just not good with eggs and chicken. You're better with, you know, who knows, meat, lamb, red meats.
But it's funny, it doesn't do anything else to me, you know? Like, it doesn't upset my stomach, it doesn't make me feel lethargic or anything like that. It's just like, it makes my fart stink.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to be it doesn't got to be, but it could be some sort of biomarker for not.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's got to be something, but it's so bizarre where it's like, why is it that? You know, why is it making my fart stink? But it's not like, you know, there's other like ginger, right? I'm allergic to ginger.
Oh, right.
If I have ginger, it will put me to the floor, and it will make me throw up.
Oh.
So
ouch.
yes, so it does. I get the opposite effects of what ginger's supposed to do: prevent nausea.
Yeah. I don't know if ginger's a blanket like thing for everyone.
Yeah.
I've heard that, and I haven't had that kind of experience with it either. I've had not feeling great in the stomach.
Man, it destroyed. It just actually, I was puking up. I had nausea.
Yeah.
I was actually bedridden for a day. Like, I literally felt like I was so drunk off my head.
Yeah.
You know, in the room spinning, you can't stop. That's just how it felt, and it was all from ginger.
Ginger.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And like, okay, so now
Stay
I
away
know.
From redheads.
Stay away from me.
You'll be
no more making out with redheads. But like, okay, so it's ginger, right?
Yeah.
And that, like, okay, that's a pretty bad effect, okay? But like...
just quietly, I hate redhead jokes. I don't know why I made one. I think I was trying to be funny, but what's that about? Why do people knock redheads? Stupidest thing ever. Anyway, back to you. Like, why is that a running joke?
Yeah.
I'm just sort of saying, like, it was like, what? Like, racism's not okay, but everyone will make a fucking redhead joke?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm sorry.
Completely off topic.
Just trying to clear my conscience there. Yeah, back to you.
Clear my conscience. So no, I just want to make a very specific statement on this podcast. I am not against redheads.
Nah.
Yeah, so like, okay, that I know, but then I know Ginger does not agree with me, right? Just like Mum gets allergic reaction. Like, you know, you get an allergic reaction to something from food, okay? Are you allergic to anything?
No, I don't think so. Not that I know of. Okay. But I'm starting to think there might be, you know, look, we traditionally have been brought up in a way where we don't really listen to our bodies. I think that's changing these days.
For sure.
But as a kid, I never really took any note. I think I'm not great with lactose.
Yeah.
With heavy lactose. I mean, maybe that's an everybody thing, and we just deal with it in different ways. But I don't really drink milk anymore. Personally, I get a bit snotty.
Yeah. See,
it doesn't happen with yogurt for some reason. It's not as bad or whatever, but
it's got it's culture different type of thing.
Right.
So,
yeah. And I think some cheese. I have discovered cashew nuts. If I have too many, I get this itchy throat. Yeah. Finally worked that out.
Me and walnuts. I get
Oh really?
Yeah.
Itchy tongue.
Itchy tongue.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an allergic reaction.
It's histamine, right? Yeah.
Must be. Yeah.
Something to do with that.
So why though? Eggs make most people fart, but it's because it's sulfur compound in it, right?
Oh,
that's what actually causes it.
Yeah.
But like, is that something going on in your body too? Because like,
well, you know what? I think I got a theory on this too. I love theories, right? I think part of it is also when you've got too much food in your stomach at one time. There's going to be a lot more bacterial reactions and things going on.
For sure.
There's more chance of it. So you're going to produce more gas and waste. It's like loading a factory up with a shit ton of coal. It's going to be like I don't know, what are those factors? Shit's moving, pumping, trying. Whereas a little bit, your body can probably process that pretty quickly, get it into the bloodstream, and Bob's your auntie's husband. You're on your way. But you like that? But
is it just Bob's your uncle?
Yeah.
Bob's.
Yeah, well, he's your uncle and he's also married to your auntie.
True.
But yeah, so putting a whole big whack of egg in and stuff, it probably just gives it more chance for certain bacteria to react with it. And
I'm going to try that now. Like we're talking about experimentation, I'm going to try and just have eggs by themselves and see if it just still makes.
Yeah, like a light meal of just egg and see if yeah. And of course, there's different interactions, right, with certain foods. Like carbs do different things in the stomach to
fats,
slow
and
digesting proteins and fast digesting proteins and of course your gut flora. I mean, that's the whole thing with this gut right that's come out that ATP are talking about, and I mean, you had great results with glutamine, stomach lining and things like that.
I'm telling all my clients about it. I'm sending them down here. I'm telling them to get it. It's crazy.
Yeah, cheap, effective. I still think, look, I'm keen to try gut right. I'm ordering it in, no worries, but I still think I'm gonna be pretty surprised if anything's got anything on good old-fashioned glutamine. My immune system gets better, my digestion gets better, my whole world gets better when I supplement with that bad boy. Like, I just started putting it back in my diet again.
Yep.
This ear infection that I've been sort of staving off, it's coming back. Man, it's gone. Like, my immune system's finally getting its act together.
I want to say the best thing that I've had for my immune system, in the last 3 years, I've probably gotten sick twice.
Yep.
Cold showers in the morning.
Ooh, that's a good biohack.
Yep.
And that's what today's about.
Yep.
Not so much dinosaurs, but biohack. Yeah, nice. Tell me about it.
I heard it raised testosterone levels.
Yeah.
It's a myth.
So that part's.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think I started it when I was I probably started that when I was getting into intermittent fasting. Just I just want to fucking I want to gain so much muscle, I want to lose fat, I'm gonna do everything. Apparently, being in the cold was supposed to burn brown fat, which is it's supposed to burn brown fat.
Right.
And I was like, I'm just gonna try it.
Burn that brown fat.
Burn the brown fat. Burn my last name.
Tyson brown fat. Yeah.
Tyson brown fat. Get rid of it. And it just made me fucking feel alive. Obviously, the first time I was like, holy shit, it's cold. Obviously,
it's rough.
Yeah.
When
I moved to Sydney, it's even more rougher because
it's funny how we avoid that so much. When there's definitely nothing dangerous going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like you'll put sugar in your body, or you'll, I don't know, you'll take, you'll snort a bag of Coke on the weekend.
Yeah.
But cold shower, oh man, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I like about you. Like, you will sort of do, on occasion, some ballsy things.
I think because...
But now you're addicted.
Yeah. But, things like that. But I think because I'll do the ballsy things is because, I strict dieted, when I did the strict diet, it was literally plain oats in the morning, no sugar, no cinnamon, it's like Tyson, cook your oats and even water, right? So I was force feeding myself oat, and then it was chicken and broccoli. This is what I got from the supplement guy, right? Chicken and broccoli, no seasoning, no nothing, plain, just the plain as balls stuff, right? And it worked. Like, I started losing weight for it because, like, I was fucking eating. Again, I was eating fuck all.
Right, so not even any fat on the chicken, like not a bit of olive oil, nothing.
Had to cut off all the white bit of the chicken. Had to make sure it was fried. Like, Mum told me, like, I made Mum, because I was like 16. Mum, cook it, make sure there's no oil over it. When she would do mince, and when my mum used to cook spaghetti bolognese, right? She'd cook the spaghetti, like bolognese in like the pot, right? Then she'd cook my mince separately, so she didn't put the pasta sauce through it, because mine was just dry mince.
Wow.
Yes.
So is the concept there that you're getting protein with 0 fat, 0 carbs, so it strips the fat off your body?
It was just a thing that this guy from the supplement store gave me, because that's what the bodybuilders did.
Before comp, though, right?
Yeah. And like, he's like, you want to get shredded, mate? This is the way to go. Yeah, I'll listen to him. He's a supplement guy. He knows everything.
Well, I know they do that.
They do.
Because it pulls the fat off your body because you're not getting any in your diet.
Yeah, but they're also...
Like, in a quick way.
Yeah.
But it's really bad for your lipid levels. Like, your good cholesterol drops out.
Right.
Test drops.
Depriving yourself of food, like so much food, right?
Yeah,
being so strict.
You need fats for hormones.
Yeah.
You said that earlier, yeah.
And like, so doing that, like, I think because I just put myself on such strict things, I'm kind of just willing to try anything. Like, just like,
especially if it's healthy. So you put yourself through it.
Yeah, so cold showers, love it. Wakes me up, makes me feel fucking fresh every morning. Definitely don't need coffee for that. I used to do like 60 seconds, just stand under it.
Yep.
But now I heard Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, that guy.
So that guy.
You called him, did you? Or, like, he gave you a buzz?
Yeah, I was on the phone with him, and I'm like, Elon, man, I really need to kind of step my game up a little bit. I mean, you've got 3 companies. I've only got a personal training business. And he's like, all right, here's what you do.
Yeah, and you made PayPal when you were like fucking 19.
Yeah, he's like, Tyson, you're falling behind, mate. Pull your shit up.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so he was talking about how they're like, what's one successful thing you do what's one thing you do every day for like to be successful? He's like, I have a shower. I have a warm shower in the morning because I like to think about what's going to be going on in the day. I let the thoughts run through my head because he talks about like it's his time. He's closed off from the world type of thing.
In the shower.
I was like, interesting.
I'm always jerking off in the shower.
Really?
Yeah. So
there you go.
Wasted
opportunity. It's your own. It's your own time.
I'm not always doing it. But
95% is not
probably wasted a good chunk of my life jerking off. Like, but, legit.
So I was like, all right, instead of just having a cold shower, I'm going to start with the warm shower. Like, I'll still have a warm shower at night, but in the morning, I'll have a warm shower for about 2 minutes, and then I'll turn it on cold. Just get myself thinking about what's going on for the day.
So Elon doesn't do cold showers?
No, he doesn't do cold. Yeah. But I've always been doing cold. I didn't want to get rid of cold because I like the cold shower.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? It kind of gives me a little bit of thinking time to think about my day.
When it's not cold.
Yeah.
And then you flick it over for the other effect.
When you're cold, so you ain't thinking about your fucking day. You're thinking about my balls are shriveling up. I'm cold. I'm freezing. Okay. You're breathing heavy.
Yeah, it puts you in that, like, a skyrocket. It puts you
in, like an alert, like, whoa.
Wakes you up. Yeah. That's why the military have been doing it for years or whatever. It's
really?
Like, well, I mean, there's always stories of, like, they throw cold water on you to wake you up in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
On your face.
Like, fuck, if you have a bucket of water laying in your bed, yeah, definitely going to feel that one.
Sorry, just waving at random customers. Random. Nice. Our customers. So you do an Elon, then a T-Brown shower back to back.
That's it. And I'll have a shower at night, but that's just a normal shower.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, so you strategically added in. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Literally people who want to start it, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Even if you just like, I'm going to turn it on cold for 5 seconds, then get out of the shower.
Yeah, it is pretty refreshing.
Yeah, you feel so great after.
Yeah, you actually do, because you feel nice and warm up. You feel good. I might try it tomorrow. Shit. That's a good biohack. All right, one thing I wanted to mention, we're talking about cortisol, and we're talking about how we discuss on this things we have tried and things we want to try. I don't know how well we stuck to the content, but I will say ashwagandha. In terms of getting stress hormones in check, this herb, which I haven't tried on its own, I've had it in some blends in small quantities, which when I do the research, not really enough to get the effects, right? But this bad boy seems to have most of what it takes to balance out your cortisol and stress hormone levels. So if they're too high, it pulls them down. If they're too low, it actually pulls them up. So you can have too low of a cortisol level. I mean, there's certain diseases where people don't produce cortisol, and it ruins their ability to grow and different things. Not every hormone is a dirty word. Like you hear the word cortisol. It's not as simple as that, but
yes, cortisol is not specifically bad in the right context.
Saves your goddamn life, basically.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it gets high. It's stopping you from dying from overstimming your body, potentially.
That, and there's also when you wake up in the morning, cortisol is at its highest.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably because you've not been eating all night or something, or hormones have all been resetting overnight.
What's that awake? It's alertness.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So it's time to wake up. You need cortisol to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'd be dragging your ass around.
Yep.
So being so awake all the time with coffee, maybe that's why it gets so high.
That's why you shouldn't have coffee as soon as you wake up, because interfering with that cortisol response, you're not going to get a hit from coffee properly.
No shit. Well, because that's been part of my routine for years. It could be part of why my adrenals feel a bit messed up. My thyroid feels a bit out of whack. I haven't tested any of that yet. Anyway, long story short, ashwagandha can balance all of that. Won't go into the science behind it right now because there's heaps of resources online. And I'll do a little video on it soon. I'm going to do like product and ingredient videos, you know. So anyway, long story short, this one I'm really keen to try. And why I'm wiggling around this in my hand is it's just happens to be an ashwagandha extract that's just ashwagandha, nothing else, in a big enough dose to probably do something. I mean, there's going to be slight differences in qualities from crop to crop with any herbal supplement, you know, so you have to see. You have to get a good brand that seems to have decent quality control. You've got to try them all. But what I like about this is you're getting 5 grams of ashwagandha, which is like, okay, that's starting to get to be a decent dose.
Is it?
Yeah, and it's at 1.5% with anolides, which are the active compound, which isn't... Look, I find when they do extracts on things, sometimes you're not getting the full medicinal properties of a plant. So an example would be 101 extracts of long jack.
Yeah.
That seems to work okay for long jack, funnily enough, but you get really angry. Whereas if you were to just chew on some, you know, long jack root, which is like Euchomia longfolia, or the real name for it, the scientific name, I'm sure it has a very different effect on the body, maybe more potent in the wild if you did it that way, than it is when you do an extract that maybe just extracts the alkaloids and saponins that make you cranky.
Right.
Which is kind of like the last effect you actually want from it. You want the muscle building effects and the testosterone boosting. So I guess in a long-winded way I'm saying, seems to work for some herbs when you do an extract.
Okay.
Other herbs doesn't seem to work. So I like to try things as close to their natural extract as I can sometimes. And that's what I like about this. This is at 1.5%, which is strong enough in 5 grams to definitely do something, but not so weak that it's only like 300 milligrams in some other proprietary blend that it's got ashwagandha, it's got the buzzword, but it's not going to do anything. You're not going to get the effects. So this, and then there's another product called Court RX that ATP do. They don't disclose exactly what they put in their products, and it can't be anywhere near 5 grams, but they do talk about having quality ingredients, and they have got a really nice stack, like some other herbs that I've got really great reports on are in that. So it's a nice combo. And the reason I bring it up, people come back and say, this really works for me. I feel less stressed. I sleep better. All these other things.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, I would prefer to try a herb at a time where possible.
Yep.
To know what's doing what. That's how I learnt most of my, like, hey, that herb's great. Like Bulbine natalensis. Oh my God. I want to give that to you.
Yeah, right.
One day I'll give you some to try. Makes your balls bigger, man.
Right.
But that's a whole other thing. It doesn't make me angry. And that's just on its own in the extract I got. But ashwagandha for cortisol and for the coffee cut weeks.
Yep.
I really want to try doing that. So pretty keen to crack a tub of that and see if it's a good one. It's an 8 cap dose to get you.
Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, to get 5 grams. That's why sometimes powders are better. Capsules are more convenient, you know, etc. But you know, if you need 8 capsules to get 5 grams.
Yeah.
It's hard to get 5 grams in a tub of capsules. You know,
Yeah,
you'd be
fair
better
enough.
off with the plant itself.
So how many capsules are in it?
Oh, 240.
Okay, right.
So you get 30 serves.
Yeah, right. So a month's worth.
Yeah, it's a good company. They don't sell you short at Olympus Labs. But
when I get back from New York, you might have tried it and you might be able to talk about it in the next podcast.
Yeah, we can talk about our actual personal experiences.
Yeah.
Which I always prefer to do. I mean, most of the customers we have here, most of your clients, we're talking about our actual experience with things, not just hypothesizing. Or we blatantly tell them this is an experiment, see if it works for you, give us the feedback. So, but yeah, okay. So you're going to the US. This is the last podcast together for
2 weeks, 3 weeks,
3 weeks at least.
No, wait, what's the date?
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4.
For a month.
Yep.
So I'll have to drum up some other guests. But
Get some other special content in here.
yeah, and you'll have to gather lots of stories to bring back and talk about.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to...
Food challenges. Oh, it's not going to be in America. Yeah.
So what are you going to... Just quickly for all the listeners at home...
Mum,
what are you
talking to you?
Yeah, Mum. Not even to Mummy. I don't think she listened to our last one, by the way. What are you going over there to do?
Got 8 minutes. I can talk to you about it for a second.
Yeah.
I'm going over there for a mentorship and a mastermind. So
Okay.
to learn from other successful personal trainers.
Nice.
One guy who we're kind of all on a type of thing.
Yeah.
Going to go to New York, going to learn from him. 5 days of doing that, just how to become better doing the stuff I'm doing online, but also becoming a better trainer too.
Yep.
And then 5 days, I'm just going to explore New York
Sick.
and just eat pizza. Like,
Yeah.
so I always say to people at the end of the day, like, people are like, oh, I'm going to come back fat, I'm like, look, you're going to go away, like, if you go away for over 14 days and you're just pigging out all the time, you're probably going to come back fat. I'm going to admit it, like, you eat like a shit load.
It's your body's quick to stack on fat mass.
But at the same time, if,
good at
like,
it.
okay, New York, right? I'm going to be doing lots of walking around. I'm still going to be training when I'm there. Not much is going to change. I'm just going to eat a little bit more food.
Yeah.
And, like...
Take the reins off a bit with the food.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll be...
Gotta
like,
enjoy yourself.
That's what I say to my clients. I'm like, go and enjoy yourself, but that doesn't mean that you pig out every meal for the whole time you're there. And you can still exercise. Like, we're not in a third world country.
Yeah.
You go to... Where have you been where there's been no gym?
Yeah, that's one thing I would say that gyms can lift their game on a little bit, and that is the casual visit.
Oh, man, that's fucked.
Like,
how much for a casual visit? $40. I'm like, no, I ain't paying.
like,
It's like 20, but still. Like,
I get that they want to deter that and get members, but if someone's traveling in your country and wants to stop in, you need to maybe just have something for travelers. We just check.
Yeah.
As long as they're interstate or intercontinental.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Oh, cool.
You want a 7-day pass? All right, I'll give you a 7-day. Sorry, mate, we only do 3-month memberships. I'm like, well, I'm here for a week, and I've got to pay $20 every single time I come in. It's bullshit,
healthy, man.
Yeah.
Like, are you connected to people being well?
Yeah.
Or is it just a money-making venture? Like, come, think.
Yeah.
Let's
exactly.
Anyway, okay, sick. So you'll find somewhere that won't be a dick about.
I'll probably.
training.
I'll tell you. The last time I went over to LA, I went to Gold's Gym.
Oh, sick.
And told him I came over as a working visa, and said that I'm working as a labourer and that I want to look at getting a membership, but I want to try the gym first.
Yeah.
So I got a 7-day free pass.
No way.
Ship.
To Gold's
Yeah,
Gym.
and then I gave him just some American number that I had while I was over there.
Wow, you really had that story concocted.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
Oh yeah, because I was like, I ain't gonna pay for this, and I told him, I was like, oh look, I've moved in the area, I'm doing labouring, I'm gonna be going back and forth because I was in LA when I went and did it. I'm like, I want to train in Venice because I'll be over there for work, and I'm also gonna be in the city for work. Oh yeah, we'll tee it up, we'll get it all sorted. I'm like, look, I just want to try the gym first. I think he goes, oh yeah, we'll set you up with a 7-day pass, we'll see how you go. So I was like, sweet, there we go.
Yeah.
I was there for 10 days, so there you go. You can always work yourself around, but at the end of the day, yeah, don't be a cunt if you're in a gym. Like, don't be a cunt of a gym. I'm sure, like, if you went to a CrossFit, like, no, actually, CrossFit's really good for that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you went and told someone, hey, I train at this CrossFit, or, like, you could literally say to, like your CrossFit gym, right, hey, I'm going to be going over there, who do you know I could talk to, or anything like that. Like, they're going to let you come and train, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, anytime your swipe works internationally.
Well, Fitness First, so does Fitness First.
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
cool.
There's no Fitness First in America.
Yeah.
But, like, you go to Singapore, go to Asia, go to UK, you can use Fitness First anywhere.
Is it any time in America?
No idea.
Didn't see it. Oh, okay. Oh, well.
Not sure. But yeah, like, I'm just like, at the end of the day, like, no, you're not going to charge me what people pay for a week for one session because I'm casual.
I think Playground's pretty good. I think they do like 3-day or a week pass.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
3 days is awesome. I'm not sure if they do that. I think they do. But, yeah, all right. So you're going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yep.
Come back with some stories. You're going to get on the vaping pens over there are big.
Are they?
Yeah, the wax, the marijuana wax, CBD. Boom.
Really?
Apparently. I don't know. I got friends that are stoners, so...
Yeah, but is that in New York or LA or...?
Yeah, it's everywhere, apparently.
I thought weed wasn't legal in New York.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think a lot of things are legal that are pretty widespread in...
Yeah, true.
You know...
Nah, like I said last time, not in control. Not
yeah.
fan,
Oh, yeah. Control freak, huh?
Yeah, control freak. That's what it is.
Surrender, my friend. That's what it's all about. But yeah, probably not while you're traveling in a nightclub somewhere.
Yeah, while I'm a
pumping.
fucking Australian traveller in New York, I'll probably get robbed or something.
Yeah. You'll have to surrender.
Yeah,
all your
yeah,
belongings.
exactly. Yeah, surrender your money, surrender your phone.
Yeah.
That'd
Cool,
be
man.
cool.
All right. Well, shit. I guess.
Guys,
Yeah.
that was round 2.
Round 2.
Thank you for listening.
Nice little outro from Tyson there. Did you like that, guys?
Guys.
Girls. I hate guys. Do you know
Peoples.
yeah, like I try to like, and this is no dispersion on anyone that opens up or closes things with the word guys, but you know how there's so many like personalities. They're like, hey guys, and, like I just try to find something different to say. I don't even know why. I just hi or just like.
He clearly doesn't watch my videos because all my Instagram videos are.
Really?
Alright guys, what we're going to talk about today.
I guess. Look, either way you got to get the content out.
Yeah,
Like, you can't
true.
split hairs out of stuff like that. But
Alright, peoples.
all right, cave dwellers.
Cave dwellers.
Catch ya.
Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. Now, I've got a special gift for you. If you want to learn how I managed to lose 10 kilos and keep it off, then I've got the perfect treat for you. I've got a free intermittent fasting cheat sheet that I share on my website that shows you exactly how to diet effortlessly with intermittent fasting and fit it into your busy lifestyle. And more importantly, this is the exact guide that I follow every single day that allowed me to lose 10 kilos of body fat and keep it off 4 years later. So head on over to www.tysonbrown.com.au and pick up your free cheat sheet today and learn how to fit intermittent fasting into your life and diet effortlessly. Once again, that's www.tysonbrown.com.au. Opt in for the free cheat sheet and I'm going to send it straight to your inbox for free. Until next time, speak to you guys then.